Hi, this is Nikki from the blog Natty Nikki, and today I am doing a plus size fashion blogger tag, which was actually set by Lucia from youcan'twearthat.com. I will do links underneath the video on YouTube, and also I'll do a link to her original video because on there is listed all of the questions that she set for us to answer. So I've got my little notepad with them all written on. I've got a drink of water because please excuse me if I have a bit of a coughing fit halfway through. I've been wanting to do this video for ages, but unfortunately, due to having a dreadful bout of the flu, I still have a bit of a nasty cough at the moment, so I've had to steal one of my son's bottles of little drink there, just in case I need to wet my whistle, as it were, as we go through. So without much further ado, we will get started. So this is question number 1. So who are you and how involved with fashion are you? Well, like I say, my name is Nikki and I run the blog nattynikki.com. I suppose that's about as involved with fashion as I am because I'm a plus size fashion blogger. So I blog mainly about plus size fashion. I do occasionally do lifestyle, a little bits and pieces, but most of the blog posts that you will see from me are about plus size fashion. So I suppose that's how involved with fashion I am. That and the fact that I just like to shop and I like clothing, I like fashion generally. So there you go. Number 2, describe your personal style. I had to think about this one really. I suppose my personal style is I like to wear dresses, especially since I started blogging. When I first started blogging, I was much more of a jeans kind of person, which is weird because I actually am wearing jeans and a jumper today because it's Saturday and I'm having a casual day. But a lot of the time, even whether I'm at work or whether I'm at home, you will often now find me in dresses, particularly skater dresses. I'm also very much known for my love of swing dresses. I have quite a few in my wardrobe. So I suppose, yeah, dresses, particularly skater and swing dresses, would definitely be my personal style. So question number 3, what advice would you give other plus size women who wanted to branch out with their personal style? I think if you're wanting inspiration or you're not really sure, then maybe a good place to start is reading plus size fashion blogs. There's a lot of them out there, and the women who write them are of various shapes and sizes, heights. Some, like me, are busty, some are not. So I think no matter what sort of size or shape you are, I think you would find somebody who was quite similar to yourself. I think it's difficult. Over the years, there hasn't been a lot of choice, I think, for plus size fashion. It's been quite dowdy, quite tent-like, but times have definitely changed. There's a lot more form-fitting outfits out there now, a lot more bright colours, patterns. So I think if you're looking to branch out, then I definitely start by looking at plus size blogs and getting some inspiration from the women and what they're wearing. And then just go out and have a look. Go out, have a look online. Just don't be afraid to try something that you might think, oh, I don't know if that'll suit me. You don't know till you try it, and sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised by just what will look good. So just have a go, just experiment, and and if you don't want to go out shopping, then order stuff online and try it on in the privacy of your own home and see what you think. But definitely always have a try. Right, question number 4. How do you feel about the plus size fashion community? Extremely positive. It's a really lovely thing to be a part of. I've been blogging now since March of 2013. I've been made to feel very welcome by everybody who I've come across. There's a lot of positivity. It's quite a safe space as well to be a part of, and it definitely does make you feel, I think, a lot more confident excuse me, about yourself. It's definitely had a huge impact on how I feel about my body and body positivity in general, acceptance. So yes, I think it's a good place to be. Things are definitely changing. There's a lot more plus size fashion bloggers now, and I think a lot more retailers are realising that this is an area that you should be more sort of focusing on. There's money to be had. There's women out there with money to spend, and there aren't always the places to cater for those women. So I think there's a definite shift, and it's quite exciting times really, and I'll be interested to see over the next year how many more retailers come on board and how things change. So yes, it's a good place to be. What is my favourite place to shop? I think at the moment actually I'm really loving Simply Be. Um, they recently opened a store in Merry Hill, which is not that far from me, and to actually have a dedicated plus size fashion store on the high street that I can go to quite easily and try clothes on is lovely. I know we do now have Yours Clothing in Birmingham, which is also fantastic because Birmingham is terrible when it comes to plus size fashion options. There isn't a lot. But I know that not only do I like Simply Be, my husband's a huge fan. He thinks their clothing is very, very good. And having gone up to Sheffield a couple of weeks ago to Meadow Hall to a blogger meetup and going to the Simply Be pop-up shop that was there, again, I'm really, really impressed. I just grabbed armfuls of stuff to try on because there were so many nice dresses and bits and pieces that I really wanted. So yeah, I think definitely at the moment, Simply Be is really doing it for me. Right, number 6, name a store you would love to shop in that doesn't stock your size. I thought about this, and I think for me, probably River Island. When I was slimmer, it was somewhere that I used to shop quite a lot, and I quite like the clothing. I know they go to a size 18. Unfortunately, I'm bigger than a size 18. So most of their clothing, or pretty much all their clothing, just won't fit me. But they do sell stuff that I would really actually like to wear. Especially, I do like their jeans. Big fan of their jeans. So yeah, definitely River Island. Come on, River Island, sort it out. You go to an 18, I'm sure you can squeeze in and go a bit bigger. Come on. Right, so number 7, your number 1 fashion tip. Well, for me, the most important thing I think is getting your underwear right. And now I say this as a person who's got really quite big boobs. And I just think if you get your underpinnings right, the rest of your outfit falls in line. There's nothing worse really than when you've got a bra on and doesn't fit properly. And I know because I've been guilty of wearing plenty of bras in my time that don't fit properly, and I've got quadra boob, or my boobs really aren't where they should be, and it ruins the line and the look of your outfits. It really, really does. So I always think if you get your underwear right, the rest of your outfit falls into place really, really well. So for all you ladies out there who really aren't sure, I would definitely recommend going and getting fitted for a bra properly if you haven't done it for years. I'm always amazed at the amount of women who are completely in the wrong bra size. I know I was doing it for a very long time until I got fitted properly. And there are a lot of underwear places now. You've got Curvy Kate, you've got Bravissimo, lots of places you can shop, and there's a lot more choice these days as well for us bigger busted ladies. So definitely that's my one tip, is good fitting underwear. Right, number 8, your embarrassing fashion moment you've ever had. Well, having been a child of the 80s and then a teenager of the early 90s, I had quite a few, and thankfully we didn't have social media in those days. So most of my fashion crimes, apart from the odd thing that I might have shared on Facebook or my personal one, for me when I'm at school, have sort of stayed buried. But I think one of the worst things I ever wore, did I used to wear? Oh, just really awful reversible jumpers and just all the really dreadful 80s fashion. But I think the 90s, actually, I think the 90s fashion trumps the 80s for being probably the worst era of clothing that I really remember wearing. I had those awful platform trainers that were very popular when the Spice Girls came out, and I thought they were the best thing ever. But looking back, they were absolutely disgusting. And I don't really know what I was thinking when I wore them. And just dreadful, I don't know, just horrible yucky 90s outfits that I really, because I don't know what I was thinking quite. So probably those really. Okay, moving on. So the one fashion risk I have taken this year. I don't know. I suppose really, I don't suppose it's really such a risk, but I wear a lot more form-fitted clothing than I ever used to. I will wear sort of bodycon occasionally, despite having a bit of a, well, not having a bit of a tummy. I have a tummy, isn't So I suppose some people see that as a risk. I just see it as, well, I like how I look. Therefore, I will wear things that, are sort of show off my figure. So I suppose if you call that a risk, maybe that and the fact that I've worn crop tops, which aren't everybody's cup of tea. I did a blog post earlier in the year called Fat and Happy, where I had a crop top on with some like sort of loose trousers. That went down really well. So I suppose maybe you could say that. I don't know. But if you don't take these risks and you don't try these things, then you never know, do you? Okay, next one. Who or what inspires your style the most? I think not so much celebrities, but I think really other bloggers, definitely. And I've said this before, and I feel like a broken record because I always say it when everybody asks me this, but I think definitely other plus size bloggers, because quite often they will be buying outfits or clothing that I've seen online that I want to try. So it's really good to then actually see it translating onto a body that looks like mine at the end of the day. And there's so many of us out there, and we've all got our own personal style, and I think we all bring something different through our blogs. So it's great because I can go onto lots of different blogs and maybe see similar outfits but worn by people of different shapes and sizes, so I get an idea of how I might look in that outfit, and I'm more likely then to probably go and buy it than I am having seen it just on a plus size model online who's sort of 6 foot tall and maybe doesn't resemble how I look. So yeah, definitely my fellow bloggers I think are my biggest inspiration when it comes to style. Right. If you designed one plus size fashion piece, what 3 elements would the garment have to have? Well, I suppose selfishly for me, something that actually fitted my top half, because even with plus size clothing, I think a lot of the time it's fitted probably women who, I mean, okay, I probably do have sort of bigger boobs than maybe some people, but getting things that fit here and don't fit my waist is a huge issue. And also, just because I'm plus size, I still have quite narrow shoulders, which became apparent last week when I was trying dresses on, and they were just really far too big on the shoulders. But because I had to go up to get my top half in, I was then drowning on the shoulders. So things that don't fall off my shoulders and things that fit my boobs would be really, really nice. And skinny jeans. When it comes to skinny jeans, I want skinny jeans that are tight around the ankle, not ones that flap around the ankle, which I seem to get quite a lot with skinny jeans. And I know that a lot of people want ones that fit their tummy and their bum, because that's quite an issue. And then also that are skinny enough over your leg. Oh gosh, we're a demanding lot, aren't we? So yeah, if I design something, it would have to fit my strangely shaped body, I suppose, and also be easy to move around in, and comfortable. Something that you actually and practical, because I'm not only am I a blogger, I'm also a mum at the end of the day, and sometimes, as much as I love certain things of fashion, the practical side of my brain kicks in, because I think, well, I got to run around after a 7-year-old, so I want stuff that's on trend, but I have to be practical as well at the same time. So I suppose those kind of elements would go into it for me. Right, name and link 3 or more bloggers that inspire me. Now, this is really hard because I could go on all day listing all the bloggers that I read, because there's so many of them, and I try to read everybody's blog. But there are, excuse me, a couple of people that really stand out, and maybe one of these people, I don't know how often she gets mentioned by other bloggers, but there's one blogger who I do really love at the moment called Margot Meany. Now, Margot and I found each other via Tumblr, and she's amazing. I'm pretty sure she's Canadian. I'm sure she'll correct me if I'm wrong. And she also runs the Alternative Curves hashtag on Instagram, which is well worth looking at, because you get some amazing outfits via that hashtag. I just love Margot. I love her style. She's really quirky. She really has got her own sense of style, but she's also just so lovely. If you don't follow Margot, then go and check her out. You can find her at Margot Meany. She's absolutely brilliant. I really do love her to bits. Somebody else who I've probably mentioned so many times, but I really do adore her, is Leah from Just Me Leah. I've had the pleasure of meeting her a couple of times now in real life, and she's just amazing. She's so funny. But I think a lot of people like Leah for her honesty with the way she is, the way she writes her blog. Her personality really comes through. And that is a big thing for me. When I go to read someone's blog, it's not just the fashion that they're wearing that I'm looking at. It's also the person. I want to get to know the blogger behind the blog. And Leah's personality really does come through her blog. She says it like it is. She pulls no punches, and if she doesn't like something, she's not afraid to say it. But she's also got an incredible way with words. I know she's hugely popular. A lot of people read her blog. So she's amazing. So that's just me, Leah. Another person who I do absolutely love, and I saw her only a few weeks ago in Birmingham, is the lovely Becky from Does My Blog Make Me Look Fat? Now, I love Becky because at the moment she is doing the 12, I think it's the 12 dresses of Christmas or something along those lines. I'm so super jealous of all the amazing dresses. I swear that Becky keeps ModCloth in business with the amount of dresses that she has from there. She's a serious. Also, if you ever want to know about ModCloth and delivery or fittings or anything like that, then Becky is definitely your girl because she has loads of their dresses and she looks amazing in all of them. I think I also like Becky because she's got quite a similar build to me. So she's my sort of go-to when there's a particular dress that I like, and if I know she's got it, I will go and check out and see how she's got on with it, and usually ask her for advice on sizing and bits and pieces. Like I said, I was lucky enough to meet her again a couple of weeks ago in Birmingham when she came up to see Tess Munster. We spent a lovely afternoon. I spent the afternoon with her and the lovely Kat from Curvy Cupcake, who's just so nice. And a fantastic afternoon. So there's another one, Kat. With her amazing blue hair, you really can't miss her. She's just really lovely. And again, Kat is another one I like to read because she's got a similar build to me. So again, looking at Kat, I get an idea of how dresses are going to fit on me when I see them on Kat. And she's just so sweet. Another person who I've really got to give a shout out to is the lovely Leah from Leah XL, who has had a super busy year. Because she did the very first Style XL this year and she really pulled it off, considering it was her very first really big event and she did it on her own. It was absolutely amazing. I got the chance to model for her on the catwalk, which was really such good fun. It was a fantastic day, and just a huge well done to her really for bringing it all together. She is doing Style XL again next year, which this time, woohoo, is actually going to be in Birmingham. Yay, my hometown, which makes me so happy. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. I will be doing a blog post soon about that, actually, with all the details and dates and venue and everything for that. If you haven't booked your tickets for Style XL next year, book them. You really must come, because if it's anything like the one we had this year, it's going to be absolutely amazing, because it's even bigger next year. It's going to be over 2 days, huge event. Really have to come. Not only did she do that, she also recently, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, because I've been ill, my brain's just everywhere at the moment, she organised a fantastic meetup in Sheffield for a lot of us plus size bloggers, which actually I've just blogged about. It's on the blog today, so please go and read. Again, she pulled it all together just amazingly well. She got a goodie bag which was out of this world. And it was just a fantastic day and just so lovely to see everybody. I think that's one of the nice things about being bloggers, is when you get a chance to meet up with your fellow bloggers, because we're all scattered around the country. We don't see each other as often as we'd like to. So when we do get the chance to get together, it's just such good fun, and we had a fantastic day. So well done to Leah for organising that. Now I could go on and on and on. There's just so many fantastic bloggers out there. There's also Vicky from The Curved Opinion. There's Debs from Wannabe Princess. There's Lucia, who is behind this tag from You Can't Wear That. Mrs. BB, which is Becky. Danielle. There's Georgina, Full of Figure, Full of Bust. Callie from The Corners of the Curve. Bethany from An Arched Eyebrow. There's loads. Honestly, absolutely loads. And I'm really sorry that I can't mention everybody. All I can say is I love you all. You know I all love you. My reading list is massive all the time. I'm so behind on my blog reading, so I will get round to reading those as soon as I can. So yes, so huge love to all the other blog ladies, really. Right, so moving on. My favourite item of clothing when I was organised and got this out of my cupboard. I actually wore this dress yesterday, and I Instagrammed it. Now this is probably not really for the faint-hearted, this dress. I bought it when it was reduced on offer in Simply Be. Oh gosh, I don't know, earlier in the year, and it's from AX Paris, and this is it. I hold it up. This is the dual print dress. Now I had to size up in this. I think this is actually a size 24, because I know from reading other people's blogs and other people's experience that AX Paris do have a tendency to come up small. So if ever you're looking at AX Paris Curve, just be aware that the sizing is on the small side. Now I love this dress. It is definitely not for the faint-hearted. It's really bright print. It is quite bodycon. It is quite super fitted. But I was going off for a haircut yesterday, so you can probably see my hair is a lot shorter than maybe the last time you might have seen me. And on a Friday, it's quite often it's like a dress down, isn't it? But because I don't work Fridays. It's my one day off. I sometimes do dress up Friday. So yesterday I did dress up Friday in this lovely dress. It's one of those dresses I go back to it time and time again, and I do have to be in the mood to wear it. I'm going to be honest. It's one of those ones, you've really got to sort of think, no, I don't want to wear it. But the response on Instagram yesterday was amazing. So thank you to everybody for the Instagram love with this dress yesterday. So yes, that's usually how I gauge how well the outfits are going. If I Instagram them and they get a bit of love, then we know we're on a winner, and that one always seems to be a bit of a winner on Instagram. So there you go, AX Paris Curve. I think they still might have this online. I think it last time I looked, it was still there. It keeps coming up. It keeps sort of going up and down in price, but also have a look on eBay because you might pick one up for a decent price. Right, so finally, the last one is something interesting to you that is fashion related. Well, I don't really know. The only thing that's interesting to me that's fashion related is the fact that I'm actually a fashion blogger. I really can't. There's no other answer I can really give you to that, because I don't really do anything else that's fashion related apart from going shopping and think about fashion and talk about fashion and just love fashion generally. So that's it really. I suppose that's the most interesting thing I can say is that I'm a plus size fashion blogger. So that's it really. That's all the questions answered. Like I say, if anybody wants to have a go at this tag, please go over and see Lucia from You Can't Wear That. She's got the original video on her YouTube channel. Underneath is a list of all the questions that you have to answer, or you have to answer. If you want to answer, you can. That's it, and just have a go. And it also just leads me to say, because this is probably going to be the last video that I do before Christmas, I just would like to say a massive Merry Christmas to all my lovely blog readers. Thank you to everybody who's come along and read my blog this year, left comments, or has seen me on Instagram or tweeted me a comment. I really appreciate them all. It's been a fantastic year for the blog. This has been a year that I've really sort of seen to manage to get it going. Hopefully next year we'll see what happens, but I know I've been a bit quiet over the last few weeks. Unfortunately, I really haven't been at all well, and it's sort of knocked all my blogging work on the head for now. But there is stuff on the blog at the moment. There's the talking about the lovely meetup we had in Sheffield. Also, don't forget to check out talking about the Sheffield meetup. The lovely Kim from Call Me Kim and Leah from Leah Exile have both done YouTube videos of the day in Sheffield, where you can see yours truly walking around having a bit of a giggle. They're really, really good. They're well worth checking out. Plus, I know Leah has been doing Vlogmas, which has been really quite funny at times. Well worth watching. So make sure you go and see them. So yeah, thank you for sticking with me. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button and leave me a little like if you would, and even a little comment would be lovely, just to let me know that you've watched. And if you do have a go at doing this tag, please let me know so I can come over and see. So just leaves me to say goodbye. Bye.